Okay, so the Super Bowl, or the Superbowl, as some of you will refer to it as, or the thing that happens that you don't watch. I just want to bring this up because I like talking about stories, right? And I think they're everything. But this was, and ads, of course, are trying to get you to do certain things. But the Tide ad was pretty good, right? So we can play a little bit of this. I think this is the intro.
Yeah, just your typical Super Bowl car ad.
First of all, Stranger Things.
Or a hilarious beer ad. Or whatever ad this is. Whatever. But it's a Tide ad.
What?
It's a Tide ad.
What makes it a Tide ad?
There are no stains. Look at those clean clothes. What else would this be an ad for?
So this was well done. I mean, this is well done. I got a lot of good recognition. People obviously, it's a very famous part of the Super Bowl. Varies from year to year, mostly a bit tame this year, I think. This was a general consensus. My wife writes, she's a financial journalist, and every year, she works for CBS now, she worked for Bloomberg for a long time. So she gets to write about this every year, so she has some, she's got someone at Kellogg at Northwestern that she always talks about. Anyway, so that's her write-up. But the Alexa one, if you saw that did really well. Like, that was a great, that was very funny. It was very long. Okay, so the end of that, this is just off, is, what's his name? Anthony Hopkins. So what was the character he was playing there? It's interesting. A lot of people seem to think it was Westworld, but it's, right? I thought it was Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, it sounded like he said something about having someone for life.
Yeah, it's like someone he's tied up at the moment. It's tied up at the moment. Her husband is tied up at the moment. It's like, well, so that was not great territory to go into for your brand to it was a little dangerous, but it was pretty good. Anyway, so that was clever. But the Tide one, the thing about the Tide thing I want to say in terms of making people think in certain ways, was their game was to make you start to think every ad was a Tide ad, and is this a Tide ad? And then they did have a number that were Tide ads, right? And they start off with someone who looked like it was going to be for ibuprofen, and it was a Tide ad, right? And it was very clever. It made people think about it. Will you use Tide? I don't know. I mean, it's a dominant. This is another thing with these kinds of ads, right? They already dominate the market. So this is just we're awesome, right? It's just sort of, yeah, it is. They have to keep doing that. I do want to say that they were obviously working on this.
No. What the heck is going on, people? Use Tide Pods for washing, not eating.
Do not eat, quote Gronk. So Gronk is obviously quite sad right now. Or maybe not. I don't know if that's not what Gronk. And it was better than him saying, I am Gronk, right? Which was what we decided that's how he says. But this was an unfortunate situation for them in the last month or whatever. I don't know. So someone pointed out, right, this was an Onion article. Someone was, right from a baby's point of view, was talking, and that's what spread. Wow. The humanity. Anyway, so great moment there. That's just there. That's just background stuff. Anyway, I just want to point out, the ads are always interesting. Sometimes there were some bad ones. There was the MLK one for Dodge Ram that just broadly people were like, that's not a good, that doesn't, no. Just have the car driving around and it's just Anyway, so that got pilloried, but anyway, okay. But just in terms of a new thing that makes you think in certain ways, that Tide ad was pretty good.